what if you might be blocking money from coming to you right now? It could be your limiting beliefs about money that are holding you back, and this video is going to show you how to get rid of them. First, I want you to think about how much money you want to make, not how much money other people told you could make, not how much money other people in your industry make, although sometimes that's a good indicator. I want you to think about how much money you want to make in the next 12 months. So think about the next year. Like if you could make any amount of money, how much would that be? And just notice what bubbles up. And then I want you to divide that number by 12 so you can think about how much you'd like to make in a month. All right. So for example, if you want to make $120,000 a year, that's $10,000 a month. Just using that number because it's easy math. Maybe you want to make 7 figures, so that's $83,333 a month. The important thing is to figure out your number, how much money you really want to make. And sometimes it's even like, what's my heart's desire? What's like right here? Because that's the number that's going to really drive you, especially on the days when you want to quit. All right. Do you have your number? So really just like feel into that number for a moment. Think about how long you've wished you could reach that goal. Think about how exciting it will be when you reach that number. Think about why that number is important to you. Think about what you'll do with that money once you have it. Really get all of your emotions into it because that's going to give you the fire to really get excited about this goal and start to build momentum. All right, do you have your goal? Now, I want you to notice the critic. We all have an inner critic, right? We all have that voice inside our head that says, yeah, you can totally do that. Or that voice inside your head that says, nope, that's not for you. And so tune in, like what does your inner critic say? Or what does that inner part of you say when you think about this number? And typically it's not a positive thing. A lot of times it's like, who are you to think you can make that much money? Or no one in your family's ever made that much money. Or one of the limiting beliefs that I hear often is, I'm going to have to work so hard to reach that goal, whether it's 2xing, 10xing, or reaching that first 7 figures in business. I love playing with that belief because so many of our clients started out there. And I get it, because the truth is building your first 6 figures in your business is one of the hardest things that you're ever going to do. It is going to stretch you. It is going to force you to do things that you didn't think you were going to have to do, like pick up the phone and maybe call people, whether it's clients or referral partners. It's going to force you to think about spending money on marketing. It's going to force you to just get out of your comfort zone. But the truth is, it doesn't have to force you to work hard unless you let it. I can think of one client in particular, this beautiful soul who came to us. And her story is similar to so many stories of women who show up in our business and have grown their business to maybe 6 figures or multi-6 figures and really want to take it to that double and eventually the 7 figures. And I remember this client one day was just, I could just see the stress on her face. And she was just so frustrated. And this was pretty new. Like we had just started working with her. And she said, Ursula, I'm working all the time and I'm at 10,000 a month. And this is like the hardest 10,000 I've ever made. And I looked at her and I said, listen, getting to 20,000 a month isn't about working harder. Getting to 10,000 a month is really about fine-tuning how the revenue is coming in. It's fine-tuning your ideal clients. It's fine-tuning who's supporting you. It's fine-tuning your ideal schedule. The real truth is you get to decide. If you only want to work 20 hours a week, work 20 hours a week. We can reverse engineer your schedule and figure out who you need on your team so that you can only work 20 hours a week. So the more we dug into it, the more she realized that she really only wanted to work from 10 to 2 or 10 to 3. She wanted to work within the hours of when her kids were at school. And for so many parents, that's a real thing, right? And of course, the belief comes up right away, like that's not going to be enough time to get all the work done. I have to work hard. It's not going to happen. But when you give yourself less time to get something done, you'll use less time. Think about like right before you go on vacation, all the work that you get done super fast, right? Like it's just like magic. You get it all done. You check all these things off your list. If you take that same inspiration and intention to every day in your business, imagine what you would get done. Now, the same client is headed toward 40,000 a month consistently. She's going to be there soon. And the truth is, she's not working anymore. She's not working harder, right? She's still working her 10 to 2 or her 10 to 3 every day. And she's loving it. And she loves her business again. And she has an incredible team that supports her so that she's able to do it. So one of the things I just showed you is how this client went through a limiting belief change to come out the other side to realize, hey, I can work 10 to 2 every day. I don't even have to work Fridays. Like, I don't think she works Fridays anymore. So I can work a few days a week at my pace, at my schedule, and still double my revenue. So she shifted that to that belief. When we first started working with her, she didn't have that belief, right? Her belief was like, I'm going to have to work hard to get to that next level. And so I want to show you right now how you can shift your limiting belief the same way. I'm an NLP certified coach. NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. And one of the things I love about NLP is the process that it teaches to shift a belief. Over the years, I've tweaked this a little bit. So if you're an NLP practitioner, you might be like, that's a little different than what I've learned. This way that I do it now is a super fast way to shift a limiting belief and then hold that limiting belief over time so it gets in the muscle, so to speak. So first, you have to identify your limiting belief. You can play along at home. Maybe there's a different limiting belief that you want to shift right now. Let's use the example of this client, right? Her limiting belief was like, I have to work hard if I'm going to 2x my revenue. Wasn't true, right? She showed herself. She proved to herself that that limiting belief wasn't true. Now, we did this work ahead of time though. I asked her, I said, what's potentially not true about your limiting belief? It sometimes turns your brain a little upside down. You're like, what's potentially not true about that limiting belief? It feels very true to me. It feels very much like I'm going to have to work all the time, right? You can go back to that, what you believe and seeing that. But ask it again. What are 3 things that are potentially not true about it? Well, this client figured out that number 1, when she had the right support on her team, she didn't have to work all the time. She had the right people doing the right things. When she built the right systems and processes that ensured that her company ran smoothly, she didn't have to worry about it. She could work less. When she built her ideal schedule and said, I'm only going to work from this time to this time, she realized that she could get a lot done in that amount of time and didn't have to work past it. Like, all the things she needed to get done could either get done or get delegated in that amount of time every day. And she could take Fridays off. So she blew that limiting belief apart, right? By figuring out what's not true about it. So you can do the same. You've identified a limiting belief. You can ask yourself, what are the 3 things that are not true about it or potentially not true about it? And then once you've done that, you'll notice that that limiting belief just starts to peel away. It starts to fall away. And the third step is to create a new achieving belief. And I call it an achieving belief because it gives you momentum. It keeps you moving forward. And in this case, her new belief was that I can work 20 hours a week and reach my stretch goal with ease and grace. And once she got to that point, she started living into that new belief. And one of the things we recommend for our clients, this client and other clients, is that once you figure out what your new belief is, write that belief 20 times every morning for 30 days and watch that belief start to come into your reality. So we started by talking about how you might be blocking money from coming to you right now. And we also dove into your limiting beliefs and how these limiting beliefs are truly blocking the money from coming to you. And then I took you through a 3-part limiting belief change process where you set your new stretch goal, and based on that stretch goal, you identify your limiting belief. Then you ask yourself the question, what are the 3 things that are potentially not true about this belief? And as you come up with those things, you start to see that limiting belief falling away. And then the final step is to create a new achieving belief, which you did as well. If you enjoyed this video, stick with me because next up, we're going to talk about how to develop a growth mindset in business. And remember, your 2X is waiting for you too.